Okay, let's welcome back to the show Florida Congressman Greg Steube from House Judiciary. Congressman, we wanted to have you back because maybe you can figure this out. Four California, they're GOP state lawmakers, 9 of them out of California went, including Democrats. They say they broke the California COVID rules by that they had to fly to a junket in Hawaii, that this trip to Hawaii was, quote, crucial, essential to get ideas on how to safely reopen in California. Why do you need to fly to Hawaii to figure out how to reopen in California?
Well, it just shows you that the Democrat hypocrisy knows no bounds. We've seen it with Speaker Pelosi violating mask mandates in San Francisco. We've seen it with Governor Gavin Newsom in San Francisco violating the ordinances there. We've seen it with Governor Cuomo going to Georgia, maskless, violating his travel restrictions. We've seen it with D.C. Mayor Bowser going to Delaware for a Joe Biden event and calling it essential travel. So as long as the rules don't apply to the Democratic leaders that are instilling these lockdowns on the American people, they don't care. It doesn't apply to them. It just applies to all of us lower beings in America that have to abide by their very mundane, atrocious, overreaching regulations.
You know, we should point out that Democrats, lawmakers out of California who went to Hawaii so far are silent. It's the Republicans, state lawmakers, trying to explain it. But, you know, go figure. You know what's also going on is we have sheriffs now in 4 states saying we can't enforce these Thanksgiving lockdown rules going to people's private homes to see how many people you're having dinner with. At the same time, we have California Governor Gavin Newsom going to a restaurant with 24 people the same day he put the brakes on reopening. He attends an indoor dinner party with 24 people in Napa Valley. They're not wearing masks. The media and and people are really angry about this. They're really ripping into him. What was your take on this story?
Well, of course not. And then he lied about the fact that he was following all of his COVID restrictions, and then come to find out that they actually were inside, not outside like he said they were, violating all of his restrictions. And you haven't heard from him since that, recanting on his lie to the people of California. And look, we don't even have, this is the alleged party of science and the party of investigations and scientists. There's actually no real evidence that these lockdowns even work. Look at countries like Sweden that never locked down and didn't have infection rates like they're seeing in other countries that did lock down. Look at states like Florida. We've been open since May. Kids have been in school in person since May. Summer camp, sports equipment, and you're not seeing the type of infection rates in Florida like you're seeing in some of these other states. We don't really know what is spreading COVID. So why lock down the American people on unenforceable rules? And those sheriffs are right. They're not going to enforce how many people you have in your Thanksgiving dinner and knock on your door and make sure that everybody inside is wearing masks. It's an overreach. And I can tell you that the American people are sick and tired of it.
You know, Governor Newsom, he's apologizing for breaking his own rules. But is he apologizing only after he got caught? It's sort of like they get to ask for our permission, but they get to ask for our forgiveness, but we've got to ask their permission, right? That's what it feels like.
Of course, if nobody would have reported that he was actually in there, and then after he said, oh, he was outside eating, and then there was pictures that surfaced, he was actually inside, elbow to elbow, maskless, everybody maskless, eating, and then that was not what he had lied about. So absolutely, it's the American people are starting to see that the leaders that are imparting these very overburdensome regulations on the American people aren't willing to follow them themselves because either one, they don't believe they actually work, or two, think they're better than the laws that they're enacting on the American people.
You know, Pennsylvania is saying you got to wear a mask if you have a visitor into your own private home. Everybody has to wear masks inside your home. So
yeah, Judge Alito,
how do you enforce that?
Yeah, I mean, Justice Alito has already said that these type of things have gone way over our constitutional protections in the United States, and I hope people start filing lawsuits if in fact some of these jurisdictions decide to enforce these overreaching, overburdensome regulations.
All right, Congressman, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for having me.